Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Sengupta's Creation. I'm Yona Sengupta, your host and your coach, and today we'll be doing this is the second class, I guess, of India size and its location. So let me quickly share my screen here. Okay, in our previous class, we have already learned and seen this about India and its about India, how big it is, and all those. Now we will be studying about India and its size. So, as we all know, that the land mass of India has an area of 3.28 million square kilometer, and India's total area accounts for about 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. So from this figure that you are seeing, it is very clear that it is the India's seventh largest country. We have already done in our previous class that about the seventh largest country, the seventh largest country. Before that, it comes the first is Russia with 17.09 square uh, meter area square meter. Next, in second is Canada, 9.98 square kilometer. Next, in third, USA, which is 9.83 square kilometer. Fourth is China, that is 9.60 square kilometer. Brazil is the fifth largest, which is with 8.51 square kilometer. Australia is the sixth largest with 7.69 square kilometer, and at last but not the least, India is 3.28 square kilometer. So you can say that about India has a land boundary of about 15,200 kilometer and 200 kilometer, and the total length of the coastline of the mainland including Andaman and the Nicobar and Lakshadweep is 7516.6 kilometer in all together. I hope you are seeing. So you might see here that in the next slide, you might see that India's total area accounts accounts for 2.4%. So India's account looks like 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. So you can say that India's expansion is north to south, which is 3214 kilometer, and east to west, which is 2933 kilometers. So it is easy that India is like from south of about, you can say it is 22 degree. It is okay. I'll write it down here. I don't have the stylus here, so it might be wrong going here. Okay. So it is written as 22 degree north latitude, and it begins to taper and extend towards the Indian Ocean, dividing it into two seas. In this, you can see, okay, on the west and the Bay of Bengal on its east. So in this picture, you can see, take a look and note that the latitudinal and longitudinal extent of the mainland is about here is 30 degree. Okay, it is about 30 degree, and despite this fact, the east west extent appears to be smaller than the north-south extent. Now let's move on to the next slide. About the North Pole, South Pole, we know that there are two hemispheres. The first one is the North Pole, second one is the South Pole, right? So, there in the middle, this part is known as the torrid zone. This part, this line is known as the equator. This line here is known as the equator, and from here to here, it is known as torrid zone, as we know. This part and this part is known as the temperate zone. It lies between Tropic of Cancer and to Antarctic Circle in the South Pole, and temperature zone in Tropic of Cancer to the Arctic Circle, not Antarctic Circle, but Arctic Circle to the North Pole. Next is Frigid Zone, which is here. It is 0 degree to the North Pole to Arctic Circle, which is 66 degree and 30 minutes north, and in the South Pole from 0 degree, the frigid zone is 0 degree to and the Antarctic Circle, which is the Antarctic Circle, which is 66 degree 30 minutes to the south. Next, so this is the Western Hemisphere and the Eastern Hemisphere. Now, have you seen that why Gujarat from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh there is a time lag of 2 hours? Why? Because time along the standard meridian of India is 82 degree 30 minutes east. So passing through Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh is taken as the standard time for the whole country. So the latitudinal extent influences them during the duration of day and night as one moves from south to north. Right. So here, how do we take 24 hours? So you see in this picture, okay. So you can see, yes. So in this picture, what happens? There are 36 longitudes, and we know what longitudes is this part. Longitudes, longitudes is this. And latitudes is just write latitude because I can't write it down. Latitude is sidewards, the horizontal wise. Okay, so it's 36 minutes and into 4 minutes. Why? So in the eastern hemisphere there are 180 longitudes, and in western hemisphere there are 180 longitudes. So this is the wait a minute, this is the 0 degree, right? This is the 0 degree, so this is the equator here. Equator, forgive me for the spelling, I can't just write here, it's very difficult for me. So equator, so here is, okay, this is the line, right? This is the line here. Just a second. Okay, okay, so this is the North Pole. Here we have, right? So this you can say is 0 degree. This is the east, okay? This is the west. So this part has 180 longitudes, and this part also have 180 180 longitudes. So therefore, if you do it 180 plus, just a second, 180 plus 180 is equal to, it is obviously 360 longitudes in total. Okay, so that is why we are taking 360 longitudes. So therefore the total number of longitudes are 360. Now the earth takes 4 minutes to rotate from one longitude. So one longitude takes here 4 minutes each. 4 minutes each for this one, then for this one another, for this one, for this one another 4 4. So with 360 degrees, with 360 longitudes into 4 minutes, we multiply it with 5 4. So it comes as 140 minutes in total. So it's now in, it is in minutes. This one, 144, this is in minutes. So we need to convert it to hours. So 60, it is divided by 60 minutes. So it is 1140 by 60, which gives us 24 hours. So in this way you can say that the earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. Next. So this is about the India extent and standard meridian. This is the picture of the largest countries of the world I have already shown you. Now, India and the world. We will start with the next topic, which is India and the world. So first, the Indian landmass, as you can see, has, a central location between the East and the West Asia. So India is a southward extension of the Asian continent, and the trans-Indian Ocean routes which connect the countries of Europe in the west and the countries of East Asia. So, uh, so in the west, the countries of East Asia provide a strategic central location to India. Now the Deccan Peninsula protrudes into the Indian Ocean, allowing India to establish close contact with West Asia. So Africa and Europe from western coast, and with Southeast and East Asia from the eastern coast. So no other country has a long coastline on the Indian Ocean as India has, and indeed it is India's eminent position in the Indian Ocean which justifies the name of an ocean after all. Right. So this is what we needed to say all along, all along in India and this. Okay. Now about, now India contacts with, with the world. India contacts with the world, and have continued through ages, but her relationships through the land routes are much older than her maritime contacts. So the various passes across the mountains in the north uh, have provided passages to an ancient travelers. Now, from here, a question can come: explain why land routes were more uh, important meridian in ancient times. You can say that the first point can be that India's contacts with the world have continued through ages, but her relationships through the land routes are much older than her maritime contacts. So the various passes across the mountains in the north have provided have provided passage to the uh, ancient travelers, while the oceans restricted such interaction for a long time. So you can say, so this is number one. Number two can be these routes have contributed in the exchange of ideas and commodities since ancient times. Number three, the ideas of Upanishads and the Ramayana, the stories of Panchatantra, the Indian numerals, and the decimal system thus could reach many parts of the world. Number four can be the spices, muslin, and other merchandise were taken from India to different countries. And number five, at last, can be on the other hand, the influence of Greek sculpture and the architectural styles of dome and minarets from West Asia can be seen in different parts of our country. So it is very easy, right? So it can be a 5 marks question to explain why land routes were more important than maritime in ancient times. So you can just note this 5 points. uh, I think 5 to 4, 5 points I have said. The fifth point you can write it down about the species, sorry, spices, muslin, and other merchandises were taken from India to different countries. Now, so we have already covered about the introduction part of India, then the location, then its size, then India and the world, and now we are going to learn about India's neighbors. Now, let's start. So first, we need to tell that India has about a comprised of 29 states and 7 union territories and shares its land boundary with northwest, north and east and south. Okay, so you can say, just a second, you can see here now. So you can say that India occupies an important strategic position in South Asia. So India has 28 states and 8 union territories. In your book, the geography book, which is the temporary India 1 textbook in geography for class 9, in that book, in the maybe the old edition, it is written that India has 29 states and 7 union territories. It's very wrong. India, cut it down and write India has 28 states and 8 union territories. Now, India shares its land boundaries with Pakistan and Afghanistan in the northwest, China, which is the Tibet, you can say, Nepal and Bhutan in the north, and Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east are southern neighbors across the sea consist of the two island countries, namely, which is known as Sri Lanka and Maldives. Now you need to remember that Maldives is the smallest country, or sorry, smallest neighboring country, and China, which is the Tibet, is the largest neighboring country. Now I'll just tell you what did you know? and this is important, you can just learn about it, that before 1947 there were two types of states in India: the provinces and the princely states. So the provinces were ruled directly by the British officials and who were appointed by the viceroy. Princely states were ruled by the local hereditary rulers who acknowledged sovereignty in return for local autonomy. Next is that Sri Lanka is separated from India by a narrow channel of sea formed by the Palk Strait and the Gulf of Mannar, while Maldive Islands are suited to the southeast of the Lakshadweep Islands. Lakshadweep Islands. Lakshadweep Islands. So India has a very strong geographical and historical links with her neighbors. And look, now I will show you a picture. This picture, India and its adjacent countries. This picture, look at this physical map of Asia in your atlas, or in this book also it is given. And note how India stands apart from the rest of the Asia. Next, this is India and its neighbors. You can see all Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh. Sorry, not. I'm sorry. Sorry. This includes India and India's neighboring countries, or you can say Sri Lanka, Maldives, China, Pakistan, Afghanistan, uh, Tajikistan, you know, it is surrounded with Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal also. So these are the things. So this is the India on international highway of trade and commerce. Now, some do you know from the chapter? So, first is the southernmost point of the Indian Union, which is the Indira Point, got submerged under the seawater in 2004 during the tsunami. This is nothing to do. You just read it. You just thoroughly read it. If it doesn't give questions in your test, but yeah, it may come very rarely. Okay, so you just read it. Okay. Now, since the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869, India's distance from Europe has been reduced by 7,000 kilometers. So, now again, I said there were two, like before 1947, there were two types of states in India, which were the provinces and the princely states. The provinces were ruled directly by British officials who were appointed by the viceroy, and princely states were ruled by local hereditary rulers who acknowledged sovereignty in return for local autonomy. This is the Suez Canal, which we were saying, which were built in like 1869. India's distance from Europe was reduced by 7,000 kilometers for this Suez Canal. Next, a little summary you can see here is India is known for its rich commercial and cultural heritage and home to some of the oldest civilizations of the world, like the Indus Valley civilization. And India spreads across both the eastern and northern hemisphere. India's latitudinal stretch is between 8.4 degrees north and 37.6 degrees north, and the latitudinal stretch is between 68.7 degrees east and 97.25 degrees east. So the Tropic of Cancer at 23.30 degrees north latitude cuts across the country, dividing it almost into two equal halves. So the country has the Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the southeast and the Lakshadweep Islands in the southwest. west. Okay, and last but not the least, you need to remember is that the total area of the Indian landmass is 3.28 million square kilometers. That is nearly 2.4 percent of the total land area of the world. That India is the seventh largest country in the world. Now this is the islands of India lying in the. I told you just it lies in between the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal, Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so I think it's all done. Okay, so I think it's end here. Let's stop it. So now let's stop it. And I hope you have a great day. If you like my video, please like and subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that whenever I'm online, you can also be learn with me and join me. So thank you and have a nice day, and we'll be meeting in our next class. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.